He's an author, a minister, a motivational speaker. He's Eric Thomas, and these are his 10 takes on achievement. His first take is probably his most famous take of them all. And it says, if you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. I like this particular take because it illustrates how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to be successful? Because many of us, we talk the good game. We say we want it, but then our actions don't back up the fact that we want it. So it's a very, very good take. It's a very, very good way of understanding, do I really, really want to do it? Will I do what it takes? How bad do I want it? Because if you want it enough to push yourself into action, then you want it. When you want it enough above all else, then you really, really want to succeed. It begs the question, how bad do you want it? Take number 2. He says, everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what real beasts do. Consider for a moment. You may say there's, bodybuilders out there and they get really, really competitive. And you may want that. But are you willing to do what it takes for you to be a championship bodybuilder? They get up at 3 or 4 in the morning. They eat 5-6 meals a day. They watch their carbs. They inhale proteins. And they're doing workouts anywhere from 2 to 5 hours a day. Are you willing to do what real beasts do? Are you willing to put away the distractions? Are you willing to forego some instant gratification to go after the real prize? Are you willing to put the time and effort in to study? In other words, are you willing to put the 10,000 hours in to be the best? Everyone says they want to be a beast. Everyone says they want to get into beast mode. But the question remains, will you do what beasts do? His third take. Success is never on discount. Greatness is never on sale. Greatness is never half off. It's all or nothing. It's all day, every day. Greatness is never on discount. I like this particular statement because it is powerful. A lot of times what we tend to do is we try to look for the shortcut, the easy way, the smooth paved road. But see, sometimes greatness is hidden behind an obstacle. It is hidden behind struggle, and it's hidden behind trial. It's hidden behind growth, meaning you have to grow. You can't go the cheap route for greatness. It's gonna take something in you. It's gonna take your effort, it's gonna take your struggle, it's gonna take your focus. It's gonna take all of those things. There is no sale. I heard it said once that Bentleys don't go on sale. You gotta pay what it takes. You gotta pay the cost. And the cost for greatness is your dedication and your consistency. Greatness never goes on discount. It just simply doesn't work that way. Here is his fourth take. Sometimes it ain't about being the most talented. Sometimes it ain't about being the smartest. Sometimes it's not even about working the hardest. Sometimes it's about consistency. We have a hard time with consistency. Sometimes we will start on a particular path, and when the results are not happening in the time frame in which we want it to happen, we give up. We put a little bit of effort into it, and then we give up. Well, we start that new language program and say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna learn Spanish, or I'm gonna learn French, or I'm gonna learn Russian. Get in, work about a month, 2 months. I just can't remember it, and we give up. It is consistency. What if you would have given up, or your parents would have given up on you when you were trying to walk? It takes consistency. And we don't give enough time to it. We don't value consistency. Sometimes if we just keep going, we will eventually get the results that we're after. Consistency. Take number 5. He said, the only way to get out of mediocrity is to keep shooting for excellence. I heard it said from another speaker where he said he got advice from a mentor actually, and I believe it's from Kiyosaki, and I hate to mix the two people that I'm talking about, but he did say an interesting quote. He said he asked his rich dad, he said, the average business goes under within the first couple of years. And he said his rich dad response was, don't be average. So I'm saying what E.T. is saying here, the only way to get out of mediocrity, in other words, the cure for mediocrity is excellence. We have to keep shooting for excellence. Both of us, you and I, we have to keep shooting for excellence to cure this mediocrity, this being average. Being average. If we're average, if we do average things, we dream the average way, we're gonna keep getting what is average. That is to say, what is mediocre. There's nothing special about mediocrity. There's nothing special about being average. So if you're tired of being average, you're tired of laying around in mediocrity, it's time for you to shoot a little higher. That target is excellent. That's the only way you can shake off mediocrity, both you and I. It's the only way we can do it. Trade in the mediocrity and go for excellence. Go a little bit further. Raise your standard. You and I. Raise your standard. What you will not accept from anyone else and what you will not accept from yourself. Raise your standard. Do not accept mediocrity any longer. Shoot for excellence. Take number 6. He says, at the end of pain is success. You know, that one is short and sweet. Because one of the things we tend to do is that we run away from pain. Because, hey, as we know, hey, pain is bad. Pain is bad. But is that true all the time? Not all the time. Consider someone who needs to go through physical rehabilitation. And if you are one of those people that had to go through that, who had to endure that, it was painful. But rehabilitation was necessary, and it was on the other side of pain. So the same is true of the process when you have to go through these certain obstacles, these certain setbacks. Sometimes they can be very, very painful. And what we actually want is on the other side of that pain. Success is not a straight path. It's not a smooth road. There's gonna be some bumps, there's gonna be some hurdles, there's gonna be some setbacks, there's gonna be some naysayers. But on the other side of that criticism, on the other side of no, you can't do that, you can't do this, on the other side of that pain is your success. Don't be afraid of it. Take number 7. Be stronger than your excuses. Be stronger than your excuses. Let that resonate for a second. And the reason that is important is because if your reasons why are not big enough, then your excuses will be. You have to stay focused in what you are trying to accomplish. And your why has to be bigger than your excuses. Most of the time, our excuses outweighs our reasons why. We don't want to do it. And here's the reason why. I'm not tall enough, I'm not smart enough, I don't have enough resources, people are against me, so-and-so said no. Whatever excuse it is, if you allow that to be bigger than your reasons why can't you lose weight? Why can't you get in the gym? I'm not a morning person. I really love insert favorite food. I can't stop smoking. I'm addicted. I don't know enough of the ins and outs to start my business. I don't have enough. And the list goes on and on and on and on. Now, these, of course, are excuses. But whether or not these excuses will stop you from pursuing is up to you. Your goal and my goal is to be bigger than our excuses. Plain and simple. Focus on your why and be bigger than your excuses. Take number 8. Fall in love with the process and the results will come. I really like this because, again, we were just talking about, the pain, and we're talking about excuses. All this is a part of the process. See, a part of the process is who you become along the way. You become a problem solver, you become bigger than your excuses, you don't let anything get in your way, you grow calluses on your mind so you don't have to let negativity get in. But guess where you find all that? Guess where you find all that growth from? Guess where you find your problem-solving ability from? Guess where you find some of your leadership ability from? It's in the process. See, there's prize in the process, and we tend to miss it because we hate the process because, again, as we said in one of the other takes, is that the process can be painful sometimes. The process can be painful sometimes, and we don't like the process. But that's where much of the success lies. That's where our growth is realized. It's all in the process. So, fall in love with the process, my friend, and the result will come. Take number 9. Look in the mirror. That's your competition. One of the biggest obstacles that we will ever have to overcome. One of the biggest enemies we will ever have to face will be ourselves. Because we can shut ourselves off from the rest of the world from time to time. Oh, I understand that sometimes you have to work around people that are, super negative or not really on the same wavelength that you're on. But you can go home sometime. And you might say, hey, well, what about my spouse? You can get some alone time, some me time. But guess the one person that you can never get away from, and that's yourself. That's your biggest competition. Why? Because you are trapped with the thoughts that you have in your head. You are trapped with that inner dialogue. You're trapped with that negative self-talk, that inner criticism. If you can overcome that, if you can overcome self and control the mindset, control the negative self-talk, all the other enemies without will not matter. Overcome the enemy within, and the enemy without will almost be non-existent. This is take number 10, and this has to be one of my favorite quotes from Eric Thomas. And it goes like this. You can't cheat the grind. It knows how much you've invested. It won't give you nothing you haven't worked for. You can't cheat the grind. What does it cost for a success? What does greatness cost? What does it take to be among the elite? Whatever that is, whatever that price is, you cannot cheat it. You say, oh, well, someone can come into a windfall of money. Does that make them great? No. They can come and they can get this money. They did not cheat the grind because soon they will lose it. I heard Jim Rohn even said, he said, if you come into a windfall of money, you better become a millionaire so you can keep the money. You cannot cheat the grind. Whatever it takes, that's what you have to become. Whatever is in the content of your character is going to determine whether or not you are great and whether or not you can sustain success, whatever is in the content of your character, whether it be leadership, whether it's courage, whether it's integrity and being trustworthiness, whether or not you can make quick decisions, whether or not you can manage your money, whether or not you have self-discipline, whether or not you can have delayed gratification. That's a part of the grind. That's what it's going to take. And you or I can't cheat the grind. You have to put in the time and the effort. That's the price. That's the price. Or you and I can never be great. You have to pay your dues. The grind demands it. Okay, we have a bonus take from yours truly. It goes something like this. Most people want the convenience of success without the inconvenience of hard work. We have to do what it takes. I want that quote to go right with what Eric Thomas was saying. There's no pie in the sky. There's no get rich quick. There's hard work, tenacity, and consistency. And we can't cheat that. That's simply what it takes. But part of that journey, part of getting to that destination is the person we become in the process. That's part of the prize. Let's not cheat ourselves from that. No shortcuts in that. Everything that's on that road to what you call success, you need all of it, including the setbacks. Because there's something on the other side of the setbacks. And truth be told, it's your success. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know which one of Eric Thomas's take was your favorite. And if you have your own that you would like to share with others, please put it in the comments below. And until next time, conquer with character.